I'm seriously not doing all that.
And the first question we got is 2.4, number 8. 19, number 8. And yeah, this is a test question, so go ahead and write it down. Did I go over the test in class last time?
Bits.
Dude.
You got through a couple of questions.
How many did I get through?
I thought it was too many.
What?
We went through the whole
I
test.
thought I
You got through
did.
the whole test? There it is.
I thought I did. Okay, so here we go. These are homework questions, and then we'll go into new material. So we got to solve for x, and of course x is already positive, so don't mess it up. Don't leave it alone. So we got 16 less than or equal to 5x minus 13 less than 27. Add 13 on both sides. What? What? What's going on?
He's at the penalty camp.
Who's at the penalty camp?
My man.
I texted you. You didn't text me back.
Me?
What? Me?
Yeah.
Well, my phone's on silent. I don't keep it on, during class. I'm not like y'all. I'm not rude. All right.
So P-Town will be talking to that.
16 plus 13 is 20 what? 29? And 27 plus 13 is 40. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. And we get 29 fifths less than or equal to x less than or equal to 8. That should be your answer. So you're what do you call it, defecting in Pendleton now?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna talk to me?
No, I'm trying to get them to talk.
Shit, good luck. They ain't gonna talk to nobody. They're gonna talk to each other.
They've been talking so far.
Yeah, they talk, but they don't talk to me, so because they hate me. So
Right. Someone said, yeah.
thanks.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's all right. They just have problems. They got internal problems. Internal issues they need to address.
Alright, guys. Just yell.
Maybe some medication will take care of it. There it is, 29 fifths and 8. We got that one right. Next question.
Oh, I did that one a couple times.
Delete. Next question. This is number 8. 19, number 8.
Not like acting on it.
Is that the same one? Yeah, the same one. Like I say, sometimes they, I don't know why it sends twice. I don't know if y'all hit the question twice or what. I don't know. I will delete that one.
And he wonders why.
Delete that one. Okay, this is question number 20. 51, question 20.
I'm so confused.
Okay, now if you're gonna talk, Pendleton, you gotta talk to where I can hear you.
Okay.
Dang. Wow, she actually said okay.
She stood her ground on that.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Dang! She's fired up.
Jay, you might want to ring her up, man.
We're trying to figure out how loud we have to talk for you to hear us.
You're doing fine right there. It's called normal conversation. It's called normal, communication. Y'all are learning. That's good. I'm glad. All right. One safe investment pays $8 per year, 8% per year, and more risky investments pay 9%. How much must be invested in each account if an investor of $102,000 would make a return of $8,430 per year? Why might the investor use two accounts rather than put all the money in the 9% investment? Okay? So they're doing this and they're not giving you the formula. Unless they just want you to multiply 102,000 times 8%. So we want the 8,430 to be, are they using A is equal to PRT? Or are they using simple interest? What are they using? They're not giving you, hold on a second. You have a reason to send this question because they're not telling you if it's simple interest or is it
Compound interest.
okay, they're just using this as in solving systems of equations. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're using it as a solving systems of equation. I thought they were using it as a, okay, my bad. So X plus Y or A plus B or whatever is equal to what? 102,000? So X plus Y is equal to 102,000. And then 0.8 or 0.08x plus 0.09y is equal to 102,000 times or 84,000. We need to put 84,000. Sorry, 84,000. And that's how you do that one. Now I have gone over enough solving systems of equations. I'm going to go ahead and set that one up. I would multiply through by 10 on the bottom, and then you would have, and then just use elimination or substitution or graphing or whatever to solve that. Okay? That's all. I think I've covered enough solving systems of equations. But to set that one up, this one is, it may be a test question, but I don't like the way it's worded. I think it should say, use solving systems of equations or something, because you could easily do simple interest with this question. So, okay, next question. That's that one. That's 2.3. 2.2. 2.2, number 15. And if we've already done it, let's see what this one is. The number of women in the workforce in a country for selected years from 1910 through 1980 is shown. Do the points on the graph in the figure define the number of working women as a discrete or a continuous function? Well, it looks like to me it's discrete, because why? You only have these points. This would be continuous. Okay? Now, what is the difference between the two? One is broken up, the other is not. A continuous line does not have points on it. That's it. That's why, I don't know where this question came from, but it came from 2.2. Let's see what the bottom says. Would the data in the scatter plot be a better model by linear function than by nonlinear? Probably linear, because you're not going to get a nonlinear function to match this one. Okay? I would say linear.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And it says, no, a line will not fit the points as well. I disagree, because you could take this point right here, and I'm sorry, you could fit a line with those points. I don't know how you're going to fit a parabola. I don't know how you're going to fit a parabola to that. I don't know how you're going to fit a hyperbola to that. I don't know how you're going to fit. Now, you could fit a logarithm. I guess that's what they're thinking, a logarithm. A logarithm would work. So, yes. Okay. This is not a test question. I hope it's not. Because I don't like the question. I don't even know where it comes from. Has anybody taken the test yet?
Not yet.
You say yeah or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you do on it the first time?
Got like 88.
Good.
6.
I'll look at the average and we'll see what somebody taking it. All right, this is number 23, 41/23.
Do you do curves?
What do you mean?
I say nobody makes 100. The closest is 98. Do you give him 2 points, make him 100, and everybody else 2 points?
Hell no.
We ain't Bernie.
What do you think I am, Bernie or
Come on, man.
Elizabeth Warren or what? No, I don't give you anything. Now, do I let you take the test 3 times so you can do the best that you can? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I give you 7 days to take it? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I give you 10 bonus questions so that you won't make a 0 and you'll feel good about yourself? Yes. Now, does that answer that question? I hope. All right.
Yeah.
People who are
But I'm gonna get
severely
one bonus
obese, BMI over at 40, are at most risk of dying. Which are the most expensive to treat? The percent of people in a country who are severely obese from 2000 and projected 2030 to show. Find the linear function. Now, this is the way I'm going to show you how to do this. And have I showed y'all Excel? I don't know because I go back and forth with students. I hope I have. That's what I would suggest on this one. Now, if you want to spend the time to do it on your calculator, knock yourself out. I'm not going to do it on the calculator. So I'm going to type in the years. So that's going to be 2000 and 2010, 2015, 2020, 2025, and 2030. And then fill in your 2.4, 4.8, 6.5, 7.7, 9.5, and 11.4. And I'm going to highlight that and insert data plot and bring this over and make it big. It looks like a linear function to me. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
And add trend line. There is a correlation, a very strong correlation. And that's what I would do. I don't know what the question is asking, but that's what I would do. And that would be the type test question I would ask. I would tell you to do it on technology, do it on your calculator. Of course, what is the relationship between R and R squared? What do you do to get R? Take the square root. That's right, class.
How did you get
Somebody
the-
take the square root of 0.9917, and that would be R. R is what you call the correlation what? Coefficient. So you can impress your friends at the bar. Somebody give me the correlation coefficient. What is square root of 0.9917?
0.9958.
9958. That's as close to 1 as you can get. So there is a linear correlation here. So yes, I don't know what the question's asking, but that's pretty much how you do it. And I'm not trying to go through this real quick, but these are questions that were sent before I finished the unit. So I think I've probably already, done it. It says find the linear function. I just did that, so I'm not going to type it in. A through C. Well, I got to type it in. What's the freaking? I ain't typing all that. Somebody write it down. 0.2983x minus 0.5594.49. I have no short-term memory, so you can get it. I doubt I can copy and paste it. So,
I did it exactly that way in the calculator, but it gave me the wrong Y-intercept.
Yeah, because you put in 2000, you didn't put in 0.
Whoosh.
It's like
Okay.
0, 10,
Okay,
15,
put in
20,
0.
Instead of
do
2000.
that. 0, 10, 15,
Oh.
20, 25, and 30.
Oh, wait, is it asking you after
I don't think it
1990?
was. See, I got the same thing. Isn't it the same thing?
Can you go back to the question?
Yeah.
It gave me like a 5,000 Y-intercept.
Doesn't say anything about after.
Okay. That's what messed me up
So
last.
let me type
before
in
I-
3 and let's see what the answer is. Well, I just don't feel like typing. My head stopped up and I don't feel like typing.
Yeah, you got the Y-intercept wrong.
I don't know how they're doing that. I guess Excel is wrong too.
Is it? It doesn't say anything about it.
Hold on a second. Let me see what they're doing.
Yeah, X equals 2,000.
Yeah, but I did that, and it's still not giving you the right. They're just finding the equation. I don't understand why it's different.
Not only did it give me the wrong Y-intercept, but it also gave me a wrong graph too.
Which one are you using? Are you using the calculator or are you using the Excel spreadsheet?
Yes, sir, I was using the calculator.
What did the calculator give you?
It gave me like negative 5,000, 5,024 point, negative 5,024.986. That's a Y-intercept.
That's not bad.
That don't make any sense. And I don't understand how you get. Let me do the calculator. Let me put you in the calculator. Have we done this? Have we had this problem before?
So this is like the first time for me.
No, I think I've done this, and calculator gave us a different answer before.
Yeah, I remember Excel being wrong.
Yeah. Let me bring this over. Stat, go to Stat, Edit, and we'll use 0 since they said after the fact. 0, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And then 2.4, 4.8, 6.5, 7.7, 9.5, and 11.4. And stat, calculate linear regression, L1, L2, calculate. Okay, well, I'll go back to the Excel spreadsheet and type it in again. I'm going to do a different problem. I'm going to figure it out before we... I'm trying to figure out how to get all of it on. I don't know why they don't... Just give me a second. Hold on.
I did it on calculator.
There we go. Okay, so 0, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30, and 2.4, 4.8, 6.5, 7.7, 9.5, and 11.4. Insert. I'm trying to hurry. Right click. It's the same graph. Add trend line. Okay, there it is.
Oh.
I don't know what happened. I typed in the different numbers a while ago. I don't know why it changed.
You just type
Maybe it was the
in
Ukrainians. That's what it was. It was the Ukrainians. Y'all know everything's the Ukrainians' fault now.
I said Russia's off the hook.
Yeah, Russia's off the hook. It's now the Ukrainians' fault. And the R squared is the same. So I don't really know what happened there. I'm sorry. I mean, when I changed the numbers, you should have changed it on the, I don't know why it didn't, but anyway, you see the two lines are about the same. I don't know. Who knows? All right, let's go to the next question. I can't speak for Excel, but I guess you could do it by hand, but if you did it by hand, it'd take you forever. So we'll just lean on both of them. Use both of them and make sure they come out with the same answer. Okay, next. That was that one. This one, 18, is that the same one? Okay, this one they do give you in a model. Okay, I would put this one in Excel. This one they actually give you the tab, open in Excel, and then you pull it up. And I have no idea what it's asking, but I'm going to go ahead and find the model and make it big. Go ahead and copy, insert, dot plot, and I guess you see a function there, and trend line, and hope this one's right. Hope it don't give us some crazy answer. And you see a correlation, 0.5556 and X. What'd you say?
I think I got one, like, I had, like, one, like, a weird answer similar to that, and I think it was wrong.
Well, let's see what they get, because I have no idea. It says, the question says, there are two data points needed to find a linear function. The linear function should be what I just did, 0.555x. They're using the slope in the point slope equation. Okay, find the. Okay, well, what is, somebody take 5 divided by 9. What is 5 divided by 9? Okay, 0.55556. So you just, you know, you can use a decimal. I don't care on that. Okay, next one. Y'all awful quiet. Y'all okay? Yeah, we're okay. Okay, here's another one. I hope they tell you this time to do. We're gonna do years after 1990, I guess. I don't know. They don't tell you that until after the fact. So let's go ahead and okay. They don't even let you put it in Excel. So you mean you have to pull up Excel separately and go here and pull up the question again. Give me a second. So this is going to be, I guess they're going from 1995, so we'll have to make that what, 0? And then how many years since 0 be 5? And 10, and 15, and 20. And then 10, 17, 13, 59, 1988, 29, 58, 33, 26, 43, 77. And I got too many. So have I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. I guess it's 25. Sorry. And copy that and insert. There it is. And right click, add trend line. Go down to display equation and display R squared. And there is the equation. So write that down. 135.26 x plus 813.38.
Got the same calculator.
Okay, so that should be the correct answer. Find the linear function, 3. Now they're probably doing it by hand, so they'll probably have a fraction. And that's fine, whichever way you want to do it, I'll be lenient. Is that what they got? Is that what we got?
That's what I got, but I did something different.
Yep, that's it, 135.26.
Why is that?
Yeah. 137 point. Okay, they're doing something that they're not putting in the directions. I don't know if they're. I really don't know what they're doing.
They're starting off, yeah, it says 1995, they're starting off with 5 instead of 0.
Okay. So now we got to start with 5, and they're not telling you that in the question. So I'm sorry about that. So if they start with 0, you start with 0, but you can't start with 0. So you got to start with 5 on this one. Hell, I can't even find it now. Get a little bit irritated. I don't like these questions that are vague. Do y'all know where my data is? Y'all not gonna tell me anyway. There it is. 5. So you start with 5. So it'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Is that what you got?
Yep.
Okay, my bad.
Yes.
I can see why you're sending these questions. Are they good questions? Hell to the
They're
no.
good questions.
Huh?
They're good.
They're not good questions. Because, as you say, they were good questions.
Oh no, I mean good as in tricky, like they can knock you off.
Yeah, in other words, they don't give you enough information. They're supposed to tell you, if they give you a year, they're supposed to tell you how to count that year. They're supposed to tell you if you use 1995 as 0 or you use 1995 as 5. Okay? They're supposed to tell you that. So, I guess you're just supposed to know, I'm not, so my head's hurting, so I'm not going to worry about it.
My head will hurt too if it looked like that.
Yeah, whatever. You're so innovative, Jake. Why don't you write yourself a book? All right, so the same thing. Now, do they tell you here? The percent of people. So I guess you're going to use 2000 as 0 here. Okay, there it is. Now, this is correct. Y'all see what they're telling you? And if they told you that in the other one, I didn't see it. But with X representing the number of years after 2000. So that should not be a problem. So that'd be 0, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and you find the trend line. Okay. I'm going to do this last 2.2, and then we're going on to new stuff. 14. And why can't first differences be used to tell that the following data is linear? I guess because I would plot this first before I don't know why you would just look at that. You got 1, 4, 5, 7. Is there a pattern? Yes or no?
No.
No. If there's no pattern, it's not going to be fluent. And it's not going to be fluent, you're not going to be able to do anything. Now, what about 4, 6, 8, and 10? That is got a pattern, but the X's have no pattern. Both the X and the Y has to have some kind of pattern. Period. Okay. So I'm going to delete those, and we're going to move on to new material. What does your outline say? Where do we go now? Should go to 3. Let's pull it up, since none of y'all probably printed it out anyway. Let me go to the, I need to pull y'all up and see how y'all are doing on the test. All right. That way I can hear all the excuses. Don't you hate this type season? My eyes are just full of water right now.
Yeah, we start with unit 2,
3.1?
Yep.
I thought so. So, 109, where are y'all? I gotta pull up a separate class, that's a pain.
How many classes you teaching?
107. See, you don't know how blessed you are, Jake, to have me as a teacher. You just don't know.
I felt blessed the first day.
You're just blessed to be here, aren't you?
That's right. I'm just happy to be here every day.
Yeah.
My weekends are terrible because I don't see you.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so this is Math 109. This is the Pendleton campus. Let's see how they're doing.
Has anyone taken it here? No. We just there's only one person's taking it. I think
Nobody
only one
is
person.
taking it at the Pendleton campus. Way to go, Pendleton.
Anybody taking it here?
Well, I'm fixing to tell you if you hold on. All right, is this the Anderson campus? Okay, this is the Anderson campus. The Anderson campus, 2 people, 1 person is taking it. 83, good. And let's check the last one. I know Jake's taking it.
Of course, I'm
Jake probably took it all 3 times already.
300.
Nobody's taking it. Okay, so nobody's taking it except 1 person. Rest of y'all are gonna wait to what? The last day? That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We're
the
all
best
studying
time.
right now.
The last 90 minutes.
Yeah, the last 90 minutes is the best time to take it. That way lightning will strike your damn house.
Yes, sir.
And then you'll call me up. Shut up. All right, so let's go to the handy dandy. That's what y'all will do. I don't know why y'all laughing. That's what y'all do. And I end up.
You wouldn't help us out.
No, not when you call me 90 minutes before the deadline. No, I will not. And I've gotten into a fight with my daggone department head a long time ago about that. She
But
knows
there's
I
a
have.
deadline for a reason. So if we're doing it before, you can't punish us for
Not
that.
90 minutes, not 3 tests in 90 minutes. Nope. All right.
Come on, Jake, you know better than this.
See, that's why the bar is so low and people are going to vote for Pocahontas. See, that's why.
I'm gonna
Because
start
of that.
next
Everybody gets a trophy. Woohoo! Everybody's going to get an A in the class, right?
Yeah.
Only hope.
Oh,
Did you say 3.1?
Yeah.
That homework ain't even.
What did you say, Jake, about the homework?
said it ain't
We're just
up
moving
yet.
on, but that homework's not up yet, right?
Yeah, because I haven't covered it yet.
Pendleton needs to learn to relax like Jake.
Yeah,
Feet up.
Jake, he needs to relax. Pendleton needs to relax.
Throw those feet up, Pendleton. Put them on the table.
Okay, here we go with the quadratics. So let's go ahead and get started. I just had to see what it is. So now that I've done seen what it is, let's go to the whiteboard. Now let's go ahead and start with complete the square because that's what your Unit 2 test is going to be on. Complete the square. So y'all ready?
Born ready.
In from the boys here.
Smith, that's you.
3.1, please.
Yes. And you can watch the 110 videos also because some of y'all are going to need it because you've never completed the square before. So you're probably going to need it.
I remember doing it. I just need a refresher.
Yeah. Problem is the ones that you did in high school were like on a number 1 scale where number 10, if I gave you a number 10, y'all would just sit there and look at it. Okay?
You're just trying to freak us out.
No, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you it's called pragmatism, being pragmatic. Telling you the truth, not making you feel good. Okay? If I give you one of these, f of x is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 7. Most of y'all will be able to do that with completing the square because that is a number 1 on a scale from 1 to 10. But what if I gave you this one?
There's a fraction. I'm out.
It is negative 2. Oh my God.
I'm old.
quit because it's a fraction.
Say it. Say it one more time.
I'd quit because it's a fraction.
That's about a 9 or a 10. Pendleton, how about you? They're too busy playing on their laptops and their phones. What would you be able to do with that one on the right? Would you be able to complete the square on that one?
You have to find a common denominator.
Okay, wait a minute. Pendleton, answer. What'd you say?
Yes.
You would be able to do that.
Maybe.
Wow. Y'all are really stepping out. I've never had a class to say they could do that one before. Wow. All right, so let's do the
I think
first
we should
one.
let her do it.
Hey, let her
See,
do
this
it.
one, no, that would be embarrassing the student. And I don't do that unless I don't like you. Right,
You
Jay?
embarrass me.
Exactly. Way to go, Einstein. All right, x squared. Let's go ahead and do it. X squared plus 4x plus or minus 7 is equal to 0. Why am I setting it equal to 0? Why am I setting it equal to 0? Well, at least Anderson said they don't know.
I don't know.
Okay? Because we're finding the X-Intercepts. So, x squared plus 4x plus blank is equal to 7 plus blank. Half of 2 and half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4. X plus 2, quantity squared, is equal to 11. Then we got the vertex is negative 2 and negative 11. Now we solve. Square root x plus 2 is equal to the square root of 11, which is probably around 3.2, positive or negative 3.2. X is equal to positive or negative 3.2 minus 2, which is 1.2, and negative 3.2 is negative 5.2. Now at that point, you can now graph it by sketching. We got a y-intercept of negative 7.
Oh my God.
And we've got a vertex of negative 2, negative 11. Negative 11 would be down here. And then an x-intercept of 1.2 and a negative 5.2 right in there. So we've got a parabola going that way. That, of course, all real numbers is the domain. Range is from...
Can you slow down, please, sir?
No, hold on a minute. I'm almost finished. Is from negative 11 to infinity. And then, of course, we've got our decreasing values from negative infinity to negative 2 and increasing values from negative 2 to infinity. So y'all remember how to do that?
No, sir.
Oh,
Not
we
like
got
that.
some questions from Pendleton. Yes.
You go first.
Why is it negative 11 in the parentheses?
Why?
Why it's what?
Yeah, for why? Why is it negative 11?
Because that's the vertex.
It's not
That's completing the square.
Why would
That's
it be
all.
11?
This is a review. Y'all said y'all know how to do complete the square, right? Yes,
I
ma'am.
never said that.
I did not say that.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you get plus 4 on both sides? Like how did you?
That's completing the square.
I'm where you are.
Where
Where
did
did
you?
the 4 come from? Like, why
B
4?
divided by 2, square it.
Okay.
So, are y'all ready for me to show y'all how to do completing the square?
Let's get it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I'm glad I finally got Pendleton to talk. All
It
right.
goes slow.
Can you please go a little slower?
Yes, sir, I'll be glad to. You know
Thank you,
what
I appreciate
communication does? It establishes A and B, and therefore I know that Pendleton don't know how to do what?
Complete
And
the
I
square.
know that Easley don't know how to do completing the square, and I know,
No, sir.
okay? So y'all want to do the one on the right?
Yeah.
No.
That one seems easier.
All right, let's go and start completing the square. Now, number one, when you're doing completing the square, why do we use completing the square? Because completing the square is based on nothing but basic math. Yes, ma'am.
Ask a question.
I have a question.
What? Never
What are
mind.
you doing?
Never mind.
Can you not see the board?
No, I can.
Okay, what's the
Why was
question?
Why was it not 11? And why was it 11? I don't understand.
That's what I'm fixing to show you. Okay, there must be a communication breakdown here. I am fixing to show you how to do completing the square. I threw it up there so fast because I wanted to show you how complicated it could be if you've never seen it before.
Oh, it's very complicated.
Okay, and I got you to talk. Now I got 3 people, and hopefully they won't get beat up because 3 of y'all have talked. So that means that the crowd is getting bigger for the Pendleton campus to beat you up outside. So hopefully y'all will start talking to me and start communicating and tell me if you got questions. All right. So the number one thing, we use completing the square because it uses elementary math.
That's very elementary.
It's very elementary. Everything that's used, the only thing that's not elementary in completing the square is the shortcuts. And y'all know the shortcuts because we reviewed it. Okay? The first thing you do is you set your equation equal to what?
0.
Equal to 0. When you set y is equal to 0, you're finding the x what? Intercepts. 2. Move C. 3. Add blanks. 4 is in red. Y'all know I do not use red. So that means red is very what?
Important.
Important. B divided by 2 squared, and you add that to both sides. Five. Find your vertex. The vertex is the opposite of both numbers. I'll get to that when we get to it. 6, solve for x. And that is how you do. Now, this is only good. What is he texting? Why is he texting? Why is he going to piss me off and go to Pendleton and go text me?
He's on his calculator.
Calculator.
What are you doing on the calculator? I'm not even doing anything.
Huh?
I was doing this one problem right here.
Okay, you're just, okay. All right. So, here we go. I want to move this over, and this is 1 through 5. What do you mean 1 through 5? Difficulty level 1 through 5. After we get to 5, you got to factor out a common term, and it changes that direction. Okay? So, let's go ahead and do a problem. And I'll go slow this time and show you how to do it. And hopefully you'll ask questions when you have questions.
I will for sure.
Thank you. It's a good thing to ask questions. You know, communication is a good thing. The introvert thing, let me tell you how that works. It doesn't work at all.
Oh.
Usually ends up getting you fired. Okay, so I make up x squared f of x. And the first question that I get is when students say, well, why can't I just use factoring or the shortcuts? Or why can't I use the quadratic formula? Because that's what my high school teacher said I had to use all the time. Quadratic formula is only used when you have decimals in your quadratic. Okay? The reason they taught you to use quadratic formula is because you had to use what to do it? Your calculator. And that way you depended on the calculator even more, and that's why we got people that can't spell mom backwards. So f of x is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 10 is your quadratic. Now there is no multiples of 10 that will give you 4. 1 times 10 will give you a 9 or 11. 2 times 5 will give you a 3 or a 7. So you can't factor this one. So you use completing the square. First thing you do is I turn mine around and I say x squared plus 4x minus 10 is equal to 0. Set it equal to 0. Now I'm going to bring the 10 over, x squared plus 4x plus blank, and add my blanks. Now, somebody take half of 4. What's 4 divided by 2? 2. 4 divided by 2 squared is equal to 2 squared, which is equal to what? And that 4 goes there and there. And automatically, on the right side, left side, you've got shortcut number 1 or number 2, depending on that sign. And now you've got x plus 2 quantity squared on the left.
Why does it depend on the sign?
Shortcut number 1 is a plus, shortcut number 2 is negative.
Oh, okay.
X plus 2 quantity squared is equal to 14. Now I want you to stop, and hopefully you have a half a page or more below this, because you're going to have to break off into two arrows. I'm going to make it small, and I'm going to go to the top of the page. So make sure you got some room on this one. Actually, you got some 109 teachers that actually believe that y'all should know this already. But I know that the high schools don't teach it because you can't depend on a calculator. You have to use, basic math. And if you use basic math for a calculator, that is a bad thing. So, I break off into 2 directions. Over here, I find my vertex. And I find my intercept form. Write that down, intercept form. Now, I don't care. All I care about is the vertex. But what is the intercept form? The intercept form is what you need to learn to type in to your test answers and to your homework answers. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to do both. To find the vertex, you take the opposite of both. So what's the opposite of positive 2?
Negative 2.
Negative.
You remember the horizontal shift? The horizontal shift is always the opposite of that. And then what is the opposite of 14?
Negative 14.
So that is your vertex. You take the opposite of both. Now you want to put it in, then this is just an option. The only thing you do is you put a f of x in front of the function, and you say x plus 2 quantity squared minus 14. And then you can find your vertex by taking the horizontal shift, which is 2 to the left and 14 down. This is what we call intercept form. Now I will do this the first couple of problems, but I will not do it all the time because I don't care about it. But the homework and the test, they may want you to put it in this form. And let me just highlight it in green. This form right here. All I care about is the vertex. So that's what you do on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I'm going to solve for x. So x plus 2 quantity squared is equal to 14. How do I undo a square?
Square root.
Take the square root of both sides. x plus 2 is equal to positive or negative. Now, there's 2 or 3 ways you can do the square root of 14. One is approximate with your calculator. 2 is to find exact, meaning 2 times the square root of 7. And 3 is what I like. I want you to estimate. Now, for your homework, or is everybody listening? For your homework and your test, they may ask for an approximate or they may ask for an exact. I'm going to write those down for you. Somebody take the square root of 14 in your calculator. What do you get?
3.74.
Okay, 3.74. And then if you did the exact, it would be 2 times the square root of 7. All right, this is what you would have for your homework. Well, what do you want, Hubert? I want you to find it in your head. Okay? What is the square root? I'm going to do it over here. What is the square root of 16?
4.
What is the square root of 9?
3.
3.5 is in the middle. 9 to 16 is 7. Half of 7 is 3.5, so that's square root of 12.5. You can do that in your head. Okay? I want the square root of 14, so I know it's going to be a little bit more than 3.6, that's 3.5, but it's going to be more than 3.6 because it's about halfway, because this is 3.75, and this is 3.5, right? So half of 3.5 is like 1.75, so that's 13.75. So the square root of 13.75 is about 3.75, so I'm going to say 3.75. And now x is equal to, what is $3.75 minus $2? $1.75.
$1.75.
And what's negative $3.75 minus 2? Minus $5.75. And now you've got your X-intercepts. Now you can sketch. Why? How do you know? Well, over here, let's take our handy dandy highlighter and let's highlight this guy. Where is my equation? What is this guy right here? What is that? What is that blue area?
It's the C, right?
It's the Y what? That's the Y-intercept. We got our vertex. Vertex is right here. And our X-intercept. So what can you do on a graph now? You can sketch your parabola. So go ahead and sketch it. Take a piece of paper or take a makeshift graph, wherever it is. I'm going to make this small. Well, I was going to make it small. Now I can't. There we go.
Where'd you get that? Negative 5.75 from?
Negative 3 plus a negative 2. Remember, the square root is a positive or a negative. So here's my graph. And what is my y-intercept? Negative 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My vertex is negative 2, negative 14. My x-intercept is 1.75 and negative 5.75. So there is my parabola. Now, all parabolas, what's the domain? All real numbers. I told y'all that a long time ago. So the domain is equal to all real numbers. The range is equal to, that's the y numbers, is going to be from the negative 14 to infinity. Decreasing, we talked about the plane, didn't we? Decreasing from what? Negative infinity to negative 2 increasing from -2 to infinity. And my line of symmetry is x is equal to -2. Now, everything here, besides the shortcut, everything is like grammar school math. So if you say that this is a difficult problem, it's either because you don't like the methodology, in other words, step by step, or you can't do grammar school math. So please don't answer that. You need to keep that to yourself. Now, you've got one direction to go. You can not learn this and pretty much fail calculus, or you can learn it, because I'm going to do at least 10 problems just showing you how to do it. Okay, who's got a question?
Can I take a picture of this?
Go ahead. Jake, you got a question? You seen it before, Jake?
Yeah, I've seen it before. Been a while.
I got more of a comment.
Yes.
There's got to be a shortcut on the calculator to find the answer to this. Like, would you really?
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want you to use a calculator. I want you to use your brain. Because somebody might ask you to spell a race car backwards one day. Somebody might ask you to find out why they're losing money in their hedge fund or something. You're in business. The calculator ain't going to tell you that. I don't know who asked that question. Who asked that question?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that was me right here.
Oh, okay.
I won't up.
Well, it's hard to see because when you raise your hand, it goes into that picture back there, and I can't see your hand. I'm sorry. There it is. All right, so let's do another one. That's a 1. That's on a scale from 1 to 10, being easy. This is a 1. I'm going to let y'all do one. Let's see how far you can get. No calculators, because you don't need a calculator. So put your calculators away. So let's do, and I'll even set it equal to 0 for you. I'll do that for you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. X squared minus, now we'll go with minus, 6x minus 2 is equal to 0. All right, go to it. This is a number 1.
He gets 4 right here.
Well, there's a lot of paper rattling up there. Good gracious. I love my daughter, and I'm proud of my daughter, but she puts up some dumb posts sometimes. Don't make any. I have to ask her about them, and well, they don't make any sense. Dang, chick deadlift 315.
That's baby weight.
Yeah, must be. Or she's eating Annaballs.
Wait.
What?
You know, if you don't know what antiballs is, don't worry about it.
Hey, like what the hell is C? That's what the +4 is now.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit far. Okay, that makes sense.
See right here it said, I did the blanks and I put +4. Where the hell did I get the 4?
I gave you all the directions, Jay. There's 6 steps.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta
You added
read.
side.
Yeah, you gotta
Do you
read.
add on both sides after
9 on both sides. Square both. Yeah.
What
Put 9 on both sides.
okay.
But what happens to the 9? Like, because on the 4, like, we didn't do anything, or I didn't.
Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. You add 4 on both sides. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 on both sides.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, once you add it, like, we just went from that to X.
That's a shortcut. On the left-hand side, that's a shortcut. You're trying to think, okay? Don't think. Not yet. You think at the end of the problem.
Okay.
There's that. Do you mind if we use approximate or exact, or do you want us
Well,
to try
I
to
would
get?
like for you to guesstimate it.
Yes.
There's a reason, because when you're in calculus and you have to do one of these real quick, it's easier when you just take the square root of 17 and say, okay, that's 4.1. The whole point of using completing the square is so you don't have to use the calculator. Do y'all understand that concept? Now, you can use exact if you want to. You don't have to use a calculator for that. I'd rather you use exact than use a calculator. And I ask you to use your calculator. When we get to a point, I'm going to ask you to take your calculator and check to see if you've got the right answer. But right now, I want to show you that it is possible for the human brain to operate without a calculator. So, x squared minus 6x plus blank is equal to 2 plus blank. Half of 6 is what?
3,
3 squared?
9.
9 goes there, and that automatically gives us what on the left-hand side? In this case, shortcut number what? Number 2, which is x minus 3 quantity squared. And then on the right is equal to 11. So,
Wait, what? What happened to
Yeah.
6X? I don't. That's what I'm.
okay, I'll just ask one question. Tell me what shortcut number 2 says. Don't look. Tell me. Say it. Say it loud.
Offer.
No, tell me what shortcut number 2 says. Recite it. You don't know it, do you? That's why. You don't know what's going on because you don't know that this will give you that.
Okay.
Okay? Remember shortcuts 1 through 5. I showed them to you on the review. Remember? Yes or no?
Yo, I just had a revelation.
Good. You mean the light bulb come on? Good.
Yeah. Like, it's just like the distributive where you put the parentheses around the number and the variable and you do the full.
That's it. Good job. I have succeeded today. I can go home today and sleep good.
Got it.
Actually, just take the square root of the first term, square root of the last term.
Yeah.
Put it in. What's the square root of x squared? X. What's the square root of 9?
3.
And you just put it in the shortcut.
Based
But you
on-
got another shortcut. A minus b quantity squared.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Somebody give me the vertex.
3, negative 11.
Oh my gosh. Y'all actually listened. There's the vertex. And now I'm going to put it in, I'm going to hold your pinky up. F of x is equal to x minus 3, quantity squared minus 11. And you can do the vertex there and hold your pinky up because that's intercept form. Now we're going to solve. X minus 3, quantity squared, is equal to 11. Square root of 9 is what? 3. Square root of 16 is 4. 3.5 is in the middle. Square root of 13.5 or 12.5 is right there. Okay? That's called interpolation. Can anybody tell me what the definition of interpolation is?
No, sir.
Interpolation is finding half of half of half of half. Have you ever done a number line before? You actually find, if you find the graduations of a number line between 12 and 24, you've got to find the middle of the middle of the middle of the middle. And you keep finding the middle of the middle of the middle, you can find what you need. For those of you that are listening, okay? Yes, sir.
If we use exact, how many decimal points do you want us to go to?
I don't care, whatever the directions say.
Okay.
Okay? I don't really care, but this, I just go to the 10th, because what are we doing? Are we plotting a parabola, or are we sketching a parabola? We're sketching. Okay? So, I need 11. What's 9 plus 1.75? Square root of 10.75 is equal to 3.25. So I'm going to say 3.3. Some of you calculator drill team people, tell me what the square root of 11 is. I say it's around 3.3.
3.317.
It's a miracle. I was able to find that without a calculator. X is equal to positive or negative 3.3 plus 3, 6.3, and negative 0.3. Somebody check my math there. Now I want you to sketch out the graph. Sketch it out. Should you be able to do those little square root, should you be able to interpolate between two small numbers? Yes. You went through 12 years of school. You should be able to find the square root of 11 to the 10th. You should be able to do that. Unless you want me to lower the bar and just let you do everything by the calculator. What happens if you go to the gym and you work out one part of your body all the time? What happens?
I guess you turn out looking like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, you look deformed. Okay? Now, what if you go and what if you go and work out every part of your body? You don't look like that. The whole point is, when you work out the problem-solving part of your brain, do you work it out and then say, oh, I'm done now, or do you keep working it? You keep working it. Yes, sir.
Did you times 2 on the square root of 11?
I don't understand.
Don't you? Oh wait, never mind. I'm retarded.
I took the square root of both sides, which would be the square root of 11. The square root of 11 is between the square root of 9 and the square root of 16. Y'all didn't answer my question, but I guess I'll just answer it myself. No, you always continue to work your brain, especially the problem-solving part. Jay, you said something a while ago. What did you say when I asked you if you knew how to do completing the square? What did you say? You said that it's been a what?
Been a while.
It's been a long time. So what did it got rusty, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what the same things happened to your basic math skills. Okay, did y'all draw it out?
Oh.
Now they done gone off talking to me again. That means they know how to do it, so we can go to the next level. All right, so we've got a -2 on the y-intercept. We've got a 3 and -11 on the vertex, and we've got a -0.3 and a 6.3, and there is our parabola. What is our domain? All real numbers. Our range is from -11 to infinity. Our decreasing is from -infinity to 3. Our increasing is from 3 to infinity. And what is our line of symmetry? X is equal to 3. Okay, it's not letting me write it. X is equal to 3.
Where'd you get the -2 again?
-2. Where's the -2? At the beginning. C is always your what? Your Y what?
Y-intercept.
Yes, sir. All right, who has another question?
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot myself in the foot. And
Okay,
ask
hold
the
on a
same
second. Who is that, Pendleton or Easley? Who is that talking?
question. Smith right here.
Mr. Of course, Easley. Mr. Smith, what's your question?
I want to ask that same question that other guy asked, and ask where that 9 came from.
What 9?
That 9 you put in the block right there. 'Cause
6
I saw
divided
it-
by 2 is what?
-3.
3? -3?
3. 3 squared is
9.
9. Okay, what's your question? You have a question back here.
I somehow put it on the complete opposite side.
Okay, that's just because you suck at plotting points. Yeah, we'll have to look at that next time. All right, when y'all come back, get your test finished. I don't know, when's homework due?
When test due.
Homework's due tonight, bud. All
I
right,
already
y'all
did,
get
y'all.
to doing your homework and finish your test. Do not do any chapter 3 homework yet because I'm not finished. So I'm going to just give everybody a here today. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all when? Tuesday. Have a good weekend.